Questions about the economy that haven't been asked in more than a decade, warning signs that haven't been flashing this bright in more than a decade, and clouds that some analysts say haven't been this dark in a decade.
Dark clouds on the economy? That's not good news. So why does it look like Alisyn Camerota is struggling to suppress a smile? Let's take a look at that CNN New Day clip again.
Questions about the economy that haven't been asked in more than a decade, warning signs that haven't been flashing this bright in more than a decade, and clouds that some analysts say haven't been this dark in a decade.
Yep, that definitely looks like a suppressed smile. Still not convinced? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's look at that again in freeze frame. Okay, here we go, freeze frame. And as you can see, John Berman, you can see definite smile here, or the beginnings of a smile. But look, the thing is, let's concentrate on Alisyn Camerota. Now, I don't know about you, but man, that is definitely a failed attempt at a suppressed smile. Now, if you're still not convinced, let's take a look at a close-up of Alisyn Camerota's failed attempt at a suppressed smile. Here we are, full close-up of Alisyn Camerota's. Oh, that is definitely a suppressed. I mean, how much she must have been expending a lot of energy to keep from bursting out with a huge smile, teeth and all. But there it is. Yep. And look at the glee on her eyes. That's the other thing. The glee. Oh, we might have a recession, a Trump recession, and no more Trump in 2020. Oh, please, God, I'm so happy inside, but I have to suppress my joy. I must suppress it. Oh. Now let's look at the rest of that panel joyously pretend to be actually concerned about the economy.
You look at this and you say, it's here.
It's here. And in fact, I said that on Sunday in a column, and I'm not sure whether to be happy that I was right or really devastated that my retirement savings has gone down.
I want to read a quote here that I read on Twitter yesterday. It says, the real economic risk if things go wrong, White House doesn't have a plan and doesn't have any competent personnel to come up with one. Trump's economic brain trust consists of a guy who plays an economist on TV, a nutcase the entire real economic profession has disowned, and the producer of Lego Batman. Who wrote that?
I did.
So, it was a member of the panel itself who wrote that tweet mocking the Trump economic team. Wow. Now watch as their joy increases while anticipating how a poor economy could hurt Trump in 2020.
Just to put a finer point on the politics of all this, because obviously we are now heading into the election season. The president has been underwater for his entire presidency in terms of job approval. The one area where he's been above is the economy. People have given him credit for the economy. And if the economy goes south, he is in a world of hurt.
And to your point, just very quickly, we had one of our panels of Trump supporters on. These were swing voters in Michigan who had become big fans of the president. They had voted for Obama and then voted for Donald Trump and become big fans because of the economy. So I just want to take one little trip down memory lane to a month or two ago with what they said could ever turn their ardent support.
Want me to read it? I'll do a dramatic reading. Alisyn Camerota asks, is there anything...
Are you playing Alisyn?
You want to play Alisyn?
No, you play Alisyn.
All right, Alisyn asks, is there anything that he could do that would lose you?
And Daryl, his most ardent supporter, says, start losing money. And then the other ardent supporter says the economy crashing. And then they say the economy start going backwards. If that happens, we're done.
He was able to convince the public that what was actually luck was in fact skill. And now that his luck is turning partly because of his own actions, he could lose a lot of those supporters.
And the markets are panicked. And so I think we're going to see this sort of trend line going down, maybe a few relief rallies like we've seen this week, but not looking good for 2020, which I think is going to hurt his prospects.
Market, just to be clear,
I think you're going to see a lot of big crashes. Once the psychology of the market really cottons on to the fact that this president isn't going to make a deal with China, things are as bad as we think, then you're going to see big crashes.
And it's also interesting among the Republican support in Congress. One of the things that I've often thought is, when will Republicans in Congress stand up to the president on some of the offensive things he says? When the economy turns south.
Yeah. Maybe the one thing that gets their attention.
Okay, here's a big tell on how you can find out how the economy is doing over the course of the next year. while watching the hosts of CNN and their panelists, the more joy on their faces, the worse the economy is doing. Of course, the reverse also holds true. If the economy is booming, they are going to have extremely depressed looks on their faces. I'm going to have a link below to a Newsbuster story about this, and it was written by Mark Finkelstein. Very good story. Thing is, Mark Finkelstein, I think that's the president of Air Finke Airlines that services the Carolinas. Well, I don't know if it is, but if it is, just mention my name, and I promise you won't get a discount on any flight. But remember, in order not to get that discount, you must mention my name. See you later.